Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you fragrances that work fantastic in the workplace, tend to be more that signature scent worthy fragrance. So classy, sophisticated, smells amazing, decent longevity, works in many different occasions, and they're fragrances that basically every woman needs in their collection. But before I get started, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button. Join the Weird and Wonderful family. It would be amazing to have you part of the community. And without further ado, let's get into this. The first fragrance that I have for you is Pure Musk for Her by Narciso Rodriguez. Now this, basically it's musk. So you're getting musk. There's a bit of floral in here as well as some cashmeran. It just comes across as kind of a sweeter floral musk. So this one gets really high ratings actually on Fragrantica. It's not my favorite. So at first I'm like, wow, this is so classy. Really enjoyed wearing it, but it's a little too nondescript for me. It smells musky, but it smells floral as well. So there's a bit of a sweeter floral mixed with the musk. It's a little bit prickly on the nose. It reminds me of if you hung your sheets out to dry and you know how they get kind of fragrant from just the breeze. So there's a breeziness and airiness to it, but also maybe a little bit of a floral fragrance that kind of comes out. That's kind of what I get from this one. So if you want something really clean, really crisp, rather fresh, and you're a fan of musk, you definitely need to sniff this one. It's got moderate performance, so it lasts about 6 hours on the skin. Sits a little closer to the skin in my opinion. I wouldn't repurchase this one, but I can see actually a lot of women really enjoying it. The next one I have for you is MIYAKE's Low Dissy Rose and Rose. The straight up Low Dissy is kind of aquatic, musky. It's actually really nice. I prefer the Rose and Rose just because I like a little bit of fruitiness. And this has that musky kind of aquatic feel, but it also has rose. There's raspberry in this as well. So it's a little bit more cheery. The longevity, again, moderate, like 5-6 hours. It projects a little bit more than the musk one, but it's just a really fun fragrance. Feels relaxing, still smells put together and classy, not like overt in your face. It's just a very nice, subdued, beautiful fragrance that you could wear in many type settings, and it certainly isn't offensive. So this is a really great option. As far as notes are concerned, this one has raspberry, pear, and pink pepper, and then it has rose and osmanthus, but I mainly get the rose feel, but there is still kind of that low dissy DNA, so a little bit aquatic, a little bit musky feeling, but with the fruit and the rose, I just think it's a really uplifting fragrance, but it's not like a massive projector. So, you know, you'll be able to smell yourself. You'll smell classy put together, but with a little bit of whimsy thrown in there with the raspberry. Next fragrance it's one of my favorites, and it is Trussardi DONNA. This is the EDP version. I've had a few people asking me which I prefer. I have a whole video out on this one, but spoiler, definitely the EDP is my favorite. So I prefer it over the Intense. The Intense is a little bit more vanillic, a little bit more woody. The EDT is a little bit more citrus, a little bit more almost tea-like. They're all very nice, but the EDP has phenomenal longevity. I love the lemon yuzu paired with the florals. And then that woody base. I find this very refreshing, and I feel like it smells somehow like the bottle, I guess. I love this bottle so much. It just makes me happy on so many levels. This fragrance makes me happy. But I just think of a woman wearing all white gold jewelry. She's got a really beautiful briefcase. It's kind of that neutral leather color. She's a little bit more of an executive. To me, this smells very bright and invigorating. Like it would be great scent for like if you've got a meeting and you've got to be thinking. To me, this is energizing because of the lemon and the yuzu. This one also feels a little bit cool somehow on the skin. I don't know why, but somehow it gives me kind of a cooling vibe. So very calm, collected, but energized. This one is just so beautiful. So this is something I would definitely wear if I had like a major meeting where we were going to have to brainstorm. This would be the one I'd wear. Another fragrance that I think is just perfect for the workplace, works as a signature scent, is Sofia by Sofia Vergara. It's juicy. There's a plum in here. There's cassis in here. So it feels kind of classy, put together. There's a bit of a mouth-watering quality to this. I believe there's rose and I think orchid in this, or like a vanilla orchid kind of idea. I just think it's very beautiful. I have a whole video out on this and whether it's like Coco Mademoiselle. To me, Coco Mademoiselle, it'd be another one that I could have thrown in this video, but Sofia is a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more juicy, a little bit more playful, but it's still very, very classy. And yeah, just it would be perfect for the office. Daytime appropriate. You smell juicy, smell a little bit playful, and really happy. Like, this fragrance always makes me feel happy. I just love it. And the longevity is really decent. Like, it's at least 6 to 7 hours. The projection on this one is a little stronger than some of the other ones I've talked to, but it's not like a beast mode fragrance. So it's absolutely gorgeous and super affordable. Another fragrance that I think is perfect for the office / a signature scent would be QUATRE by Boucheron. Now this is a beautiful kind of aquatic rose. I definitely get that bergamot. It smells crisp. It smells clean. It smells classy. There's some rose in there, but it's a little bit more of an aquatic take on the rose somehow. There's supposedly some fruits in there. I get mainly kind of a bergamot feel. As it dries down on the skin, you get a little bit more of a sweetness, but this is just a beautifully understated, classy fragrance that I think that's totally perfect for the office. The only thing that I would say about this one is I wouldn't wear this one necessarily in the winter, because it feels a lot more kind of warm weather in a way. So in the cooler months, maybe not so great. But it's absolutely beautiful. Very, very classy smelling fragrance. Next fragrance that I think is just absolutely gorgeous as a signature scent or a workplace fragrance is Meliora by Parfums de Marly. Now this is a little bit more bougie. It's so sophisticated. It's a little bit green, a little bit watery, feeling like a little bit aquatic. But then it's got some fruits in there that's a little bit sweeter. I am in love with this fragrance. Like, I think it's so beautiful. It lasts a long time on the skin, like at least 7 hours. Really decent projector. I love the green quality that's in this because it feels a little bit more relaxing, a little bit more calm. So I can see wanting to wear this if you're in kind of a high stress job. This would be one that I would reach for because it feels actually quite relaxing. So kind of keeps a person grounded. It's definitely unoffensive, but the nice thing about this is although it's a little bit greener, it's got black currant and red berries in there to keep it just slightly sweet without being like in your face, bam, sweet. So it's just, it would be like a very lightly sweetened fruity tea. Somehow is kind of the vibe I get from this one. The florals in this are rose, lily of the valley, and ylang ylang. So there is a little bit of, again, I find ylang ylang to be quite relaxing. I don't get a whole lot of that rose, but I do get a slight powderiness from the lily of the valley. And then the base is vanilla and musk. Definitely there is just a slight musky feel to this. Vanilla, not really getting that. I mainly get the green fruity vibe from this. It's literally spectacular. Like, I am absolutely in love with this fragrance. I can see this being a gorgeous signature scent, kind of no nonsense, but somehow calm. So for those leader type roles where you need to keep your head in the game and not get stressed out, I think that this is perfect. Now I have to talk about this one. I know I talk about it all the time. I'm going to quickly mention it. IDOLE Nectar. You guys know I love it. This again has a beautiful rose, slightly peony feeling. So a little bit of a sweeter floral, along with popcorn and vanilla and caramel, although those are a little bit more in the background to me. So you're getting kind of the IDOLE DNA with that rose. As it warms up on the skin, you start to get a little bit of that warmth from the popcorn and a little bit of gourmand, but it doesn't feel in your face. It's just super vivacious. This would be probably the most projecting, the most kind of almost mass appealing. It's less classy, a little more flirty, but really, really fun. So if you're kind of the Energizer bunny in your office, I can see you really loving this one. Last fragrance I want to talk about is La Vie Belle L'Eclat. This one and La Vie Belle en Rose I think would be beautiful for office wear, also as signature scents. La Vie Belle en Rose is more rose centric with a very soft, delicious raspberry in it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. This has orange and bergamot in the opening. I definitely get the bergamot, so kind of a bright tart opening, a little less of the orange, but it definitely is juicy and mouth-watering. And then there's a ton of florals in here. You've got freesia, there's iris, white flowers, jasmine sambac, and orange blossom. I primarily get that orange blossom feel with a little hint of powder. It's very soft. It's very feminine, but with a hint of juiciness. And then in the base, you have vanilla, sandalwood, and patchouli. This one is definitely not as sweet as the original La Vie Belle. This one is more subdued. And I find this one to be really quite classy. Orange blossom is such a beautiful note, but it's nicely rounded with the other florals, so it doesn't feel in your face orange blossom. And then with that citrus, it just adds a little bit of freshness on the top. I don't feel like this one becomes ever really heavily patchoulied. The longevity on this one, as well as on Rose, about 6 hours. It's not beast mode like the original. It's still decent in its performance. I love the sweetness in this, but I do like the freshness that comes from that bergamot. So for any of the La Vie Belle lovers, this one would work really well. Like if you wore this during the day and then you wanted to go out for the evening and put on the original La Vie Belle, that would totally work. This one would just kind of blend seamlessly into the original, but this is like a more pared down version where you're getting primarily bergamot, a little bit of orange, and then the orange blossom coming out. Patchouli is definitely way more in the background, definitely not as noticeable. Not so much woodiness, it's just kind of a sweeter orange blossom to me. So from that perspective, certainly not unique, but as far as a really classy, kind of sophisticated, put together fragrance, this one's awesome. And that is it. Those are my office worthy, every woman needs these in their collection. Like seriously, they're kind of like staples, great to have. I think if I were to choose between this one and La Vie Belle en Rose, if I had a choice between the two, I would pick the En Rose, because the En Rose is, it's got raspberry and rose, a little bit sweeter. And I prefer rose as a floral note in a fragrance, and I just love raspberry. So that would probably be my pick. That said, this one's really beautiful too. You know, all these fragrances are great if you want to smell sophisticated, put together, you know, classy. These all work perfectly for that in many occasions other than just work. But they're not going to choke anyone out. They're not going to be overly offensive. They're just really pretty fragrances. So that is it. What about you? What are your favorite fragrances to wear to the office? Please leave them in the comments below for everyone to see. And I'll leave a couple of the videos that I was talking about on Trussardi, Donna, and Sofia versus Coco Mademoiselle. I'll have them linked down below, as well as all of the fragrances. And other than that, I hope you have an amazing week, and we'll talk to you soon.